right, so we're diving deep into fire country today. Specifically, this new episode from season 3.
False alarm.
Yeah, false alarm. You might be a Die Hard fan already, or just, kind of curious about what makes these TV dramas so gripping.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, stick with us, all right? This deep dive, I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it looks like a really interesting episode.
It does. Just from the promo, it seems like they're playing with this whole tension between routine and danger, right? Like misunderstanding, consequence,
Definitely.
all within the world of firefighters, which already has, high stakes built in.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, talk about a pressure cooker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you add these layers of interpersonal drama on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Makes you wonder, how much can these characters handle before something really goes wrong?
Right. It's like, how much pressure can you put on someone before they break?
Mm-hmm.
And in this kind of job, a break can be, well, fatal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just for the firefighters themselves, but for anyone they're trying to help.
It's true. And I think that's one of the things that makes this show so compelling. It's not just about the fires,
Right.
It's about the people, the relationships, and how they deal with the immense pressure of their jobs.
Mm-hmm. And this episode, False Alarm, seems to really be digging into that.
It does. Even just the title.
Mm.
I mean, false alarm.
Right.
It makes you think, routine call, probably a bit boring, right?
You'd think so, yeah.
But then the promo hints at something way bigger going on. Like they're setting a trap for the audience.
Oh, for sure. It's like they're lulling us into a false sense of security.
Totally.
Oh.
We think we know what to expect, and then, bam, everything changes.
Yeah. Kind of like those, those classic mystery novels, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where the obvious suspect is totally innocent.
Exactly. You think you've got it all figured out, and then the rug gets pulled out from under you.
Exactly. And, it makes you wonder if maybe there's a deeper meaning to this whole false alarm idea.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even beyond the immediate plot of the episode.
Definitely. Like maybe it's a metaphor for something else,
Right. Like, maybe it's about how we can get complacent,
Mm-hmm.
thinking everything's fine, when really there's danger lurking beneath the surface.
Absolutely. And that can apply to so many different aspects of life, not just firefighting.
Oh, for sure. Relationships, careers, even just our own personal lives.
Exactly. Like we can get so caught up in our routines that we miss the warning signs,
Mm-hmm. And then before we know it, we're in the middle of a crisis.
Whoa. Okay, you're kind of freaking me out now.
Sorry. Not my intention.
No, it's okay. It's good. It's good to be reminded of that stuff.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Keep us on our toes. So, speaking of crises, the promo shows the crew responding to what seems like, a standard false alarm.
Yeah, the typical cat stuck in a tree kind of situation.
Right, exactly. But then things escalate pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. Things get real fast.
We see some hints of danger.
Yeah.
And the promo even uses that phrase, edge of your seat. I mean, come on.
They're definitely trying to get us hyped for some serious action.
Totally. But, I have to admit, I'm actually more interested in the characters' internal struggles.
Oh, yeah, me too. That's always the most compelling part for me.
Like, the promo mentions that some of the key players, including Bode,
Mm-hmm.
they're all going through some stuff, What do you think? Will we see some cracks in their teamwork?
It's certainly possible. I mean, the promo really highlights how these characters are facing both internal and external pressures.
Yeah.
That kind of duality, that can make for some seriously powerful drama.
Yeah.
And it makes the characters, way more relatable.
Right.
The stakes feel higher because you're invested in these people,
Yeah.
And remember, we're talking about firefighters here. These are people who are trained to work together under extreme stress.
Absolutely. Their lives depend on it.
Exactly. So if their internal conflicts start to impact their teamwork, the consequences could be, well, disastrous.
No kidding. It's like one little mistake could have a ripple effect,
Exactly. And that's what makes this episode so intriguing. It really makes you think about how misunderstandings and communication breakdowns can impact any high-pressure situation.
It's true. It's not just firefighting. It's relevant to, everyone.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about your own life, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you had a conflict with someone because of a simple miscommunication?
Oh, too many times. Especially at work.
Right. And those misunderstandings can really escalate if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah. They can turn into huge blow-ups.
Exactly. And in a high-pressure situation, like the one we see in this episode, those blow-ups can have serious consequences.
That makes me think about, what stands out to you in the promo in terms of these potential communication breakdowns? Like, what are the warning signs?
Well, we see some pretty tense moments between team members. There's that one scene where Bode seems to be arguing with someone.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
It's brief, but it definitely suggests that this whole false alarm situation might expose some underlying tensions within the team.
Yeah, like it's the catalyst that brings everything to a head.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Bode specifically for a minute.
Sure.
He's always been this character who's like trying to balance a troubled past with this deep desire for redemption, right?
He's definitely got a lot of baggage.
He does.
Yeah.
But it's a compelling story, for sure. Do you think that's a struggle that a lot of people can relate to?
Absolutely. I think this whole archetype of the flawed hero seeking redemption, that's something that's resonated with audiences, for centuries.
Oh, yeah.
Think about characters like Hamlet or Jay Gatsby.
Mm-hmm.
They're flawed. They've made mistakes.
Hmm.
But there's something inherently human about their desire to overcome their past and become, better versions of themselves.
It's so true. And when you set that struggle against the backdrop of life or death situations like we see in Fire Country, I mean, the drama just intensifies.
Oh, absolutely. The stakes are so much higher.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the things that this show does so well, right? It balances this realistic drama with gripping action. What do you think is the key to striking that balance effectively?
I think it comes down to creating characters that the audience genuinely cares about,
Oh, yeah.
When you're invested in the characters, the action sequences become more than just spectacle.
Right.
They become these moments of genuine tension and suspense because you're worried about what might happen to these people that you've come to, care about.
You're totally right. Like, I'm actually holding my breath during some of those scenes,
Me too. And that's the mark of a truly great show.
Exactly. It makes you feel like you're right there in the middle of the action. And from what we've seen so far, Fire Country seems to be, doing a fantastic job of making us care about these characters.
Oh, definitely.
So as we gear up for this new episode, I want to leave you with something to consider, all right? If you were a part of this crew, responding to what you thought was a routine call, only to have it spiral into something dangerous, how would you react under that pressure? Would you remain calm and collected?
Right.
Or would the stress get to you?
It's a tough question.
It is. It's something to think about as we wait for false alarm to air.
Absolutely. And I think it's a question we can all ask ourselves,
It's true.
How do we react under pressure?
Yeah. Are we the type to stay cool, calm, and collected? Or do we crumble?
I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens in the episode.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, until next time, folks, stay safe out there.
And be prepared for anything.
You never know when a false alarm might turn into the real deal.
That's for sure.